my Judge of Ghana here. I was watching the official outdooring ceremony of the running mate for NPP, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, currently the energy minister. He's the running mate for Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia. And it just came to me that there's nothing wrong with outdooring your running mate. NDC, New Patriotic Party, ex-President John Mahama has unveiled Jane Nana Opoku Kyerematen as his running mate successfully some weeks ago, so it's fine. However, where Ghana has reached at the moment, it's not about who your running mate is, or it's about the substantive issue or the problem that we Ghanaians want answers to is, what are your policies? What are you going to do when you're given the presidency? Not who you're doing it with. Because there are many competent people in Ghana who can be your vice president or your running mate. It's about what are your plans and policy, and what steps are you going to do to ensure that Ghana comes from the gutter or the low we are at the moment to the level where we are supposed to be. That is what we want. We, the people of Ghana, demand to know and want to know. The Ayashishene say, "Eden potting," and whoever who wants to become the president of Ghana, then na obeye ama omana fa ntuma pa efra eno na yehwehwe. Enti enye the pomp and ceremony of unveiling your running mate. That one is a short term, but no, it's not going to put food on our table. It's not going to make sure we have a decent standard of living and reasonable living conditions. Eno na yehwehwe. Obi a our integrity obetumi abo omana fa ntuma fa efra papa efra. Yes, betumi afa ntuma pa ene ntuma papa efra. Yes, that is what we are looking for. Now say it's just about you see, that is why Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen is different. He's so different. Alan Kyerematen is very different because it's not about unveiling your running mate necessarily. It's about the content of what you're come to do if you're given the presidency. I like the way Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen is doing his things. He actually unveiled his policies and his plan in the Great Transformational Plan. And he's telling us what he's going to do when he's given 4 years to rule Ghana as president. This is what we need. And you know what Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen has done is what the Bible says we should do. God told Moses that whatever he's telling him, he should write it down and let all the people of Israel see and hear what they need to do to be successful. That is what a good leader does. They write their vision down and make it plain so that whoever sees it may run with it. That is what the Bible tells us to do. And Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen is doing just that. But if you look at the other contestants in the presidency for the Ghana seat, look at what they're doing. Just showing off people, not explaining anything. I don't even think a lot of them, their manifestos are ready or their plans are ready. If they're ready, I'm sure they'll be singing off the hilltop about how great their plans are. But we are not hearing anything. We're not seeing anything. You know, let's be honest. I mean, ex-President John Mahama is a bit ahead. He's got his 24-hour economy. But to be honest, he's still not showing us. It's just it's not showing us the pathway he's going to take to get to where he's going to get to. And obviously, when he had his meet the press session the other day, he was put under a lot of pressure by certain journalists in the line of questioning, and he seemed to come short in answering some of the questions. But at least he's trying, and at least he's meeting the press. But with Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia, he has refused to talk about the economy, and he was brought into NPP because he's a brilliant brain, a whiz kid, as they say, when it comes to the economy. But that's where Ghana is suffering the most, the economy. Because if a man gets food to eat, clothes to wear, and somewhere to stay, I mean, those are the most essential things in a life. Anything else is extra. It's a bonus. So we thank God for that. So now, if we look at the quantum of people in the population of Ghana who find it difficult to even get 1 meal a day out of the money they get, if you look at the speed at which the cost of food items. Let's break it down to the most essential thing, because I was telling a friend of mine that you can wear your old clothes. If they're tatty, you can sew them. You can just manage with your old shoes. Even Charlie Water's price has gazumped. Something that you could buy for 2 cedis is now like 10 cedis or something for Charlie Water. The cheapest form of footwear in Ghana. Yes, Kenke is now 5 cedis minimum. And when they show you the chicken, the fish, the 5 CD amount of fish, you will cry. And where cocoa is there, they won't give you cocoa for less than 2 CD or 2 CD 50, maybe 3 CDs now. Oh yeah. So the way things are going, it's not going well. And instead of coming up with solutions to our problems, you're spending money doing lavish affairs as though Ghana is prospering and everything is fine. It's not a good situation. But with Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen, he has told us how he's going to do things, how he's going to reduce government expenditure in one fell swoop by reducing the number of ministers to 40. And he has showed us how he's going to combine different ministries that have synergies. And, there's not a question you can ask anybody representing Alan Kyerematen in a television interview or radio interview that they can't look for the answers for in that great transformational plan. And the answers they give are sound answers. Look, Alan is a solid candidate. In fact, I told a friend of mine who's a delegate, NPP delegate, a couple of friends of mine are NPP delegates. And I told them that, look here, you have lost a diamond in Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen, and Ghana has gained the diamond. And you guys are going to be punished for it come December 7th because you have really messed up. The person that should have been leading that party, NPP, New Patriotic Party, was Alan and should have been Alan. If only President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo had kept his word. He had said it severally, and the Bible says out of the mouth of 2 witnesses, everything you say is established. Akufo-Addo said it 2-3 times in public. There are video recordings of him saying that after him, he thanks Alan John. There are recordings of him saying that Nana Addo Akufo-Addo saying that he very much thanks Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen for stepping aside so he can be the flag bearer and now the president of Ghana. And after him, it will be him next. It will be Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen next. When the time came, he secretly brought in somebody who was not an NPP person. Yes. Bawumia was not NPP. He wasn't a card-bearing member of NPP. And to become a running mate, you need to have been a card-bearing member of NPP for at least 5 years. So Vice President Mahama Bawumia got a waiver to become the vice president or the running mate of Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, who became the president of Ghana. And he said he's bringing him into the vice president position because he's a whiz kid when it comes to the economy. The proof is in the eating. Look at the state of the economy to date. It is totally down. Yes, totally down. So the purpose that he brought him to the NPP is not what we are seeing now. And these people think Ghanaians are so dumb. Current regime NPP for now more omote o my penyi akuyano so omodwen se Ghana for sebe yejimi yenim yansa to mu di ye ho agro yejimi enti ye hu se adwuma no omu hu ye omu nye ne yie na krono no de eguso me de bia meka se NPP NDC omu na. There's evidence the people that they bring, their ministers and the people they bring with them, and there's evidence that allegedly Omo Bokrono. Yes, the court cases we have seen, ex-Maslock boss, Ationu Tamaklu, the judgment against her, for which she, in her absentia, she was adjudged to be guilty. Look at what's going on with the ambulance procurement trial. Ato Forsen and Richard Jakpa. That's further evidence. With the NPP, look at John Kuma. One NPP delegate I was speaking to. When I mentioned John Kuma, his words were, that thief. Oh, forget about him, he's a thief. Even after his demise, that's his comment. He said to me that one of his friends had almost lost their property, like in the software wager, what's his name again? Eric Amponsa. Computer man said John Kuma and his wife almost dishonestly appropriated his property, and he fought them in court and got his property back. That is the same thing that happened to this friend of mine's friend. According to him, he had to fight tooth and nail to get their property back because of the evil deeds of John Kuma. And then we heard the other day, Kofi Bawumia, Kofi Bawumia came and said, post his demise, John Kuma left $30 million in his bank account, allegedly, because we don't have the evidence. That's what he said. Yes. But why would a stalwart NPP person like Kofi Bawumia come and say that? Look, there's a saying, there's no smoke without fire. So if he can say that, then there's some truth in it. And he was only in an MP for 3 years and 3 months. And in that duration, he also became the Deputy Minister of Finance. So you've got to ask questions. I mean, the other day, I was listening to Alex Tete. He was talking on a show, and I watched it. And he was criticizing our man, Hobson Adoye. He said Hobson Adoye, all the years that he was at NPP, with a new patriotic party, he doesn't have anything. He doesn't have a house. He doesn't have anything. He's actually living off his wife, Empress Gifty Adoye. Now you can say all that, and even though he was working in the airport and he did so many things, he allegedly did so many things, he doesn't have evidence. You see, these kind of casting aspersions on people, trying to put doubt in people's minds about the people who have left New Patriotic Party, Hobson Adoye and Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen and Mr. Asamoah Abuabeng and Mr. Into and those people, trying to cast aspersions on them when you don't have any evidence. I mean, let's face it. Do you honestly think NPP will not publish information they have about Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen, any dirty information they have about Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen, Hobson Adoye, Ohininto, Mr. Bawumia, everybody who has left? If they had dirt on them, they would have put it out there. Oh yeah, because these people, they just want to win at all costs. Yes, and when they win at all costs and they come, the country is doomed. Whether it's NPP or NDC, Ghana is doomed if we select these two big parties, because they don't have a good plan for the nation. They're only there to enrich themselves. He said, Hobson, this man, Alex Tete, said, Hobson is like a failure because he didn't unjustly enrich himself when he was in NPP. So now he has nothing. So he has to rely on his wife now because he doesn't have anything, not even a house. Why do you have to come to politics without a house and leave politics with houses? Is it a part of being a politician? In the UK and in America, it doesn't happen like that. Just because you come to politics and you don't have a house doesn't mean that when you end, you should have houses. I mean, it is people who are corrupt who make those type of statements, that when you come into politics, you must become very wealthy in a short space of time. That means that the pathway you took to get the wealth is not the right way. It's not godly. And some people believe that it doesn't matter how you get the money so far as you got the money. But I'm sorry to say, before God, who is the creator of heaven and earth, and he said in his word that he gives us the power to get wealth. Not all money is good money before the Most High God. Not all money is good money before the Most High God. Yes, money that is got the godly way is good money, but not all money is good money. Because if you're going to get a lot of money, then your life will be shortened because of the curses of the way you got the money, so your life gets shortened. You don't even get to enjoy the money on the properties you have acquired because the pathway you took to get it wasn't a good way. If at the end of your life you get disgraced, everybody finds out that, oh, you are corrupt, you're a thief, you're a dishonest property appropriator. What did you get out of doing what you did? And there's a saying, a good name is better than riches. So we should all be aiming at having a good name as opposed to riches. When you have a good name and then God adds the riches, then your wealth is the sweetest, and it comes without any side effects, negative side effects. It comes with total exhilaration. There are no side effects when you get wealth without sorrow. So that is what we the people of God, those who believe in the Most High God, should be aspiring to get wealth without sorrow, because not all money is good money. Some money gives you sorrow. So let's make our mind up that we're going to achieve wealth without sorrow. Yes, because that's the sweetest type of wealth. And that's a wealth that when you give to your generations following, it is a blessing and a blessing. You see, I like that the approach of Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen. He's focusing on the policies and how he's going to execute those policies. And he's given his people. And another thing I saw an article when Alan was vying for flag bearership of NPP, New Patriotic Party. I think it was January 2023, and he had gotten past this together and stuff. And I saw an article where he was talking about his great transformational plan. So when I hear NPP or New Patriotic Party followers, even my delegate friends, say things like, oh, Alan benefited from NPP and he's a spoiled child. He's like a spoiled child, because he didn't win the race, he's left. It doesn't hold any water. Say Alan we did NPP through politics. Look, let's use the analogy of a footballer who plays for a top club, say in Europe. Say he plays for, it's just an analogy, a player who plays for, say, Chelsea, and he joined Chelsea as a child, maybe at the age of 8, and he has been at Chelsea till the age of 22, and he has realized that the club has no intention of putting him in the first team. And he says to the club, okay, since I see that you have no intention of using me to play, I want to play first team and you won't use me, I'm leaving. So he leaves. He goes to another club and he succeeds so well, even in matches with his old club. He scores goals. He just blows up and becomes a star. Is it because he has spent the best part of his years between the age of 8 to 24 or 22 at Chelsea? If now he becomes a big star at Manchester City because he leaves Chelsea, does it mean that he has enjoyed the benefits of Chelsea's training and stuff and he's ungrateful and stuff? It doesn't come inside. It's, if I've asked you that I would like to become a first team player and you refuse as a club to make me a first team player, and I decide that, look, if you won't make me a first team player, I'm leaving. That is the same situation that Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen was in NPP. He wanted to be the flag bearer and vie for the presidency of Ghana under NPP, New Patriotic Party. But they decided that they will not allow him to do that. By all means necessary, strong arming people, stabbing him in the back, removing people's names from the delegates, people who support him's names from the delegate list, doing all sorts of subterfuge to rid him from the party. So you undermine Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen with the NPP. Nanado goes back on his word and stabs him in the back like Judas in the Bible, stabbing Jesus in the back. So you stab Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen in the back like Judas stabbed Jesus in the back. And then he decides to leave and form his own organization called Movement for Change and fight and vie for the presidency of Ghana as an independent candidate. And now you're peeved that he has left, but you abused and mistreated him while he was in NPP. You did this back in 2008, and then you begged, and he said, okay, no problem. He will sit in the party, stay in the party, and see how things go. It's like a player who wants to leave a team, and the team says, we like you, we think you're great, we're going to play you in the next 2 years, in the next year or two, you'll be playing in the first team, so stay here and you get your opportunity. The player decides to stay for a further 2 years till the age of 24. And when he gets to the age of 24, you don't play him ever in the first team like you promised. And he says, well, I've had enough, now I'm leaving. Can you hold that against him? In fact, sometimes I think people who talk like this, especially these NPP delegates, they don't put themselves in the shoes of Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen, because if they were in Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen's shoes, they probably would have left NPP a long time ago, because the level of subterfuge, sabotage that went on in NPP concerning Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen was grievous. It was a lot. He suffered a lot from 2008 to 2024. Alan went through a lot. He was even sabotaged when he wrote how he has written his great transformational plan. He wrote the one district, one factory blueprint, the plan for it. This was ripped from him and put into the office of the vice president. When they bolstered up the one district, one factory, then they returned it back to the originator, let me tell you, Alan's great transformational plan, Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen's great transformational plan, it doesn't matter if the whole world sees it. Because you're not the originator of the great transformational plan, you can never implement it the way that Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen can implement it. You can copy, yes. They can copy Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen's great transformational plan, whether it's NDC or NPP. But what they're going to get is a monster version, a decrepit version of, or a sideways version, a not incomplete version of what the great transformational plan should be, and the ideas that God has given Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen to get Ghana out of the hole that we're in. Look, Ghana needs Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen more than he needs the other way around. So those who think that Alan is just he's not necessary, what do you mean? You cannot beat an originator. Somebody with brains like this, you need the person who originated the idea to implement the idea, for the idea to be what God put in his head it should be. If we want the best for Ghana, it would be a wise thing to look at the policies and plans of the people that we want to put in the high office of presidency. And the one that's document is the best and is solid is Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen's great transformational plan. Let's don't get it twisted. Ghana makes the mistake of voting a new patriotic party, NPP, or National Democratic Congress, NDC, whether it's Vice President Bawumia or ex-president Mahama who comes to the seat of power. It's going to be 4 further wasted years that Ghana could have developed to a new level. Out of the candidates who have put themselves up for presidency, who have the potential to turn Ghana's fortunes around, the only person with an outstanding plan and the right heart, a heart that is sold out 100% to the Most High God, is Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen. We need him. If we want change, let's go for true change. I've said this before and I'll keep saying it. ex-President Mahama, we have seen his handiwork. Even when things were a lot better, the economic climate around the world was a lot better. There was no Ukraine, no COVID, no Ukraine, Russia war. He messed up in his presidency. And we'll talk less about Vice President Bawumia. You are currently in power. Look at the situation Ghana is in. And you're making all sorts of promises and not addressing the issue when you have the ability. The power is in your hands at the moment to do something about the situation, the distressing situation that is going on in Ghana. There are little things you can do to bring relief to people in Ghana as it stands today, 2024, July 2024. But you are refusing to do it and telling us that we should vote for you before to become president before you do anything. Look, if you can't do anything for us now when you have the power to do it, Mr. Vice President Bawumia, if you can't do anything for us now, do you think that you can do something for us in the future? Look, with Alan is brains and his productivity transcends Ghana. If he put together the blueprint for the Africa Free Trade Area, which is now operating, we have seen his handiwork. And if he can do that for the whole of Africa, do you think he can't do that? Do what he says he can do in the Great Transformation Plan for Ghana? He can do that he can even do more. We'll be surprised. He's the only potential candidate for the presidency of Ghana. Alan Kwana Ombambetna Akuyano Soda. He has never been president of Ghana. He's never tasted the high office of presidency or vice presidency. So he's fresh. We need a fresh face with fresh ideas, because it's only fresh ideas that will get Ghana out of the hole it's in, because we're in the hole. This man loves God. He's not corrupt. If he was corrupt, do you think NPP would not have come out and showed that he's corrupt? You cannot find a corrupt tag and target on him. He's not. So this is the kind of person that Ghana needs. Let's stop beating around the bush and being moved by, show without the depth. Yes, adoring people, big talk, whatever. Look, what we need now, is a debate. Yes, between Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen, ex-President Mahama, and Vice President Bawumia. Yes, and we'll see who will come shining. I tell you, Alan will beat them all hands down, because that great transformational plan that he has, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. At this point in time, this is what the medicine Ghana needs to recover from the situation we're in. Thank you for your time. If you like this type of content, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for your time. Bye for now.
Like Ali, Alan Cash will float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. In the ring of life's big fight, won't you come and stand by me? Like Ali, Alan Cash will float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Together we'll win this fight, love will set us free. Oh, hallelujah. Come on, choir, sing it now. Like Ali, Alan Cash, I say, you're afloat like a bird.